Okay, so I get this question a lot, almost every week. So I just wanted to cover this in a quick video. So the question is basically, we're migrating CMS platforms. So should we wait until we start SEO, start an SEO project? So I'm quickly going to jump into the reasons why you shouldn't wait, because generally those outweigh the reasons to wait. So some reasons why you probably don't want to wait. So upfront on nearly every SEO project will be a period of strategy and planning that generally will last a month. Sometimes it can last a little bit longer than that. But essentially, you want to get that planning done so everything is understood. You want to understand the direction you're moving in, that kind of thing. And really, that plan won't change regardless of the CMS. There might be some minor technical tweaks to it and that kind of thing. But ultimately, you want to get that strategy kind of agreed and in place as soon as possible. Then a lot of the actual deliverables will carry over perfectly fine. You're not going to kind of reset when you get to a new CMS. So anything you do, content optimization will carry over. So title tags, heading tags, content tweaks, that kind of thing, that should all absolutely carry over. New content will carry over. So if you're producing new supporting content, new blog posts, or adding content to existing pages, that will all carry over. Off-site work will definitely carry over. So things like link building, that is important. That takes time to have an effect. So you want to get that kind of stuff started ASAP. That will carry over. Um, Overall, you're going to get quicker results if you don't hold off. So if you hold off and say we're changing platforms in a month, let's hold off, then that could actually delay the SEO results by several months. Um, and then the final point I'll kind of touch on here is generally SEO is going to be more impactful to your business than the CMS update. So generally you kind of do a CMS update because you've got kind of back end issues for security purposes and that kind of thing. Just to update give the website a general update and that kind of thing. But actually, it's quite rare that the actual CMS update itself will drive an increase in organic revenue. It does happen. It can happen obviously, but generally speaking, SEO is going to be much more impactful on the revenue of the business. So it's basically why would you choose a kind of housekeeping task of updating a CMS over actually trying to increase the revenue. So that's the reasons why I would avoid waiting. Reasons to wait. So there's really only kind of one overarching issue why you might want to wait, and that is basically a lack of resource to project management both things at the same time. So updating the CMS, whether it's a completely changing the CMS you're on or updating it, that can take time resource. So it could be that you just don't want to start a new SEO project while that is happening. I think that's completely fair. Um, but actually, if the reasons I've kind of outlined why not to wait are more compelling, then that's absolutely fine, and you can really minimize that because what you can do is you kind of focus on tasks that don't require kind of that general stake over input. So you can focus more on link building and that kind of thing. You can focus more on the strategy and the planning. Um, the only thing I would say is, another reason kind of in favor to wait is that you don't want to be doing lots of technical SEO if you know you're going to be changing platform, because technical SEO will generally not carry over. There's kind of some caveats to that, but in the main, because you change to a new platform, it won't carry over. So you kind of want to avoid that. Then very quickly, just want to touch on what a successful migration is. So generally speaking, a migration is quite a tricky thing to do, and you can really impact the traffic in a negative way if not done correctly. So there's two main things I would do to make sure you have a successful migration. So number one, you want an SEO to be involved from the start, to give you advice on do's and don'ts and advantages and disadvantages of certain things you're going to be doing. Just make sure they're involved and they have visibility of what's kind of happening. And then you want to have a really solid migration plan with a checklist and ownership of that checklist. So what I mean by that is, a Google sheet or something like that of everything that needs doing before, during, and after the migration. So what planning needs to go into that, what needs to happen on the day, what needs to be checked after that. That's very, very important to kind of do that. Otherwise, like I say, things can very easily get missed, and it could cause a lot of fluctuation in traffic. So two main things I would just mention is, you need a redirect map. So if you're changing URLs, you need to make sure those URLs are redirected to a new location. Something very very simple, and I often see missed. So yeah, you definitely need to be aware of that. And then content and metadata continuity. So what I mean by that is, what we see is a lot of migrations happen and content is removed, which should actually be carried over. And that is probably the number one reason why you see decline after migrating to a different CMS or an updated CMS, is that maybe you thought everything was getting moved over like for like and it just didn't happen. Maybe the team who were doing that weren't really aware of that, or something else happened. But generally, you need the content on the pages to be the same, you need the title tags to be the same, you need the headings to be the same. Everything needs to be the same, because otherwise it introduces too many variables of what might have happened if something goes wrong, and then it'd be very difficult to reverse engineer and fix. Um, if you want a migration checklist, reach out and I can send one over to you. So just very quickly to summarize, so what I'd say is, 90% of the time you want to avoid waiting, just because you're changing CMS or updating CMS. And this is something we very typically see. So let's say, we say, hey, we're going to update the website, we're going to migrate to a different CMS on the 1st of January. It doesn't happen very often where that deadline is actually hit. So, quite often, let's say that deadline is missed by 2 months. And I've seen this deadline missed by a year. So, 2 months isn't much of an exaggeration. Then what that means is the SEO results can be delayed by 3 to 6 months. So if we carry on with this example here, so we're not gonna, let's say we did wait and we're not going to start for those additional 2-3 months, then there's another 2-3 months for the results to come after that. So you're effectively delaying the potential increase in revenue by up to 6 months, just because you want to update the platform or you want to change to a different platform. So yep, based on this, there's generally very few reasons why you actually want to wait. And generally with good planning and good strategy, you can absolutely get going with SEO and be successful with SEO even while you're changing platforms. All right, hope that was helpful.